Most people would willingly take a day off of work for a chance to play Augusta National. Then again, most people are not ranked in the top 10 in the world at tennis. But such is the case for Jack Sock, who had a round of golf lined up at the home of the Masters, but will have to skip it because, simply put, he's too good at his job. According to ATP World Tour, Sock, a 25-year-old American, was supposed to take a trip down to Georgia next week with fellow tennis pro John Isner. But thanks to his win at the Paris Masters, Sock is now number 9 in the world rankings and qualified for the tennis playoffs race to London finale. "I had a golf trip with Isner next week in Augusta, which would have been pretty special," Sock said. "But I'll look forward to seeing him at his wedding in a couple months." Sock was able to get a tee time at the exclusive club through the father of Isner's fiancée, who is an Augusta National member. "Big thanks to John's fiancée's father. Madison's dad is a member at Augusta, so that was how we were going to be able to play," Sock said. "It was going to be fun. Obviously it was a win-win. It would have been fun, him and I playing today to battle it out for who doesn't go to Augusta, but I'll see him at his wedding in December, so that'll be fun. Missing out on playing ANGC is definitely a bummer, but being the professional athlete with serious connections that he is, there's a good possibility this won't be Sock's last chance at his dream golf outing." Article tags Augusta National Golf Club Grill Room. The PGA Tour heads south of the border this week for the Ole Classic at Mayakoba. Here's a look at a few early round groups to keep an eye on along the Mexican coastline, as Ricky Fowler headlines the field and Pat Perez looks to defend his title all-time ZT 730 AM. Thursday, 12 p.m. Friday, Ricky Fowler, Emiliano Grillo, and Hadley Fowler will be making his tournament debut, and this will be his first start since the President's Cup ended more than a month ago. He'll be joined for the first 2 rounds by Grillo, another participant last month at Liberty National, and Hadley, who has opened the new season with 3 straight finishes of T4 or better. 740 AM. Thursday, 12:10 p.m. Friday, Jonathan Vegas, Kevin Chappell, Patrick Reed. This tee time features a trio of players who teed it up at the President's Cup, including Vegas, who tied for 10th at Mayakoba last year. Chappell finished T20 last week in Las Vegas in his season debut and is returning to the Riviera Maya for the first time since 2011, while Reed is making his 3rd start of the season all outside the U.S. 12 p.m. Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Friday, Bryson DeChambeau, Zach Johnson, Siwoo Kim. DeChambeau earned his breakthrough victory at the John Deere Classic in June and nearly added another trophy last week, when he tied for 7th at TPC Summerlin. Johnson is making his 2nd start of the wraparound season following a T13 finish at the Safeway Open, while Kim remains in search of his first top 10 finish since winning the Players in May. 12:10 p.m. Thursday, 7:40 a.m. Friday, Pat Perez, Graham McDowell, Charlie Hoffman. This group consists of each of the last 3 winners on El Camaleon, highlighted by Perez, who sparked a career resurgence at this event last year. He cruised to victory at the CIMB Classic in his season debut last month, while 2015 champ McDowell earned his first top 10 finish in more than a year last week in Las Vegas. Hoffman won here in 2014 and finished T18 last week in an emotional return to his hometown event. Article tags Ricky Fowler. Paula Creamer will make her return from wrist surgery as one of the headliners at the 3rd annual Diamond Resorts Invitational January 12-14 in Orlando. Creamer told GolfChannel.com Tuesday that she's excited to get a chance to test herself in competition before the LPGA season begins in earnest next year. "I miss playing," Creamer said. "It's already been a long time away, but I'm doing well so far. I feel positive about the decisions we've made, and I'm definitely eager to get back out there and start practicing again." Creamer will be making her first appearance in the 54-hole event, a mixed-tour competition that will feature LPGA pros, PGA Tour champions, pros and celebrities at Tranquillo Golf Club at Four Seasons Resort Orlando at Disney World Resort. LPGA and Champions Tour pros will compete for a $750,000 purse, with celebrities competing for $500,000 and Florida Hospital for Children benefiting from proceeds. Creamer will join fellow LPGA pros Lexi Thompson, Brooke Henderson, Brittany Lincecum and Brittany Lang in a modified Stableford scoring format. Ray Allen, Roger Clemens, Brian Urlacher and Jeremy Roenick are among the early celebrity athlete commitments. All 3 rounds will air on Golf Channel. Creamer, 31, hasn't played since withdrawing in pain in the middle of the first round of the Evian Championship on September 15. She tried to rest and rehab before deciding to undergo reconstruction of the left wrist on October 20. Dr. Thomas Hunt repaired a torn ligament and tendon damage in a procedure in Houston. She had a cast removed from the wrist last Wednesday, and I was doing rehab the next day, Creamer said. Creamer said she has about another week or two before she is likely to begin putting, then another 2 weeks before she can begin chipping. Then you work yourself into hitting, Creamer said. Creamer, whose 10 LPGA victories include the 2010 U.S. Women's Open, said she has been struggling with recurring wrist pain the last 2 years, requiring multiple cortisone shots. The recurring inflammation affected the changes she has tried to put into place since moving to swing coach Gary Gilchrist. I've always put in a lot of time and worked hard, and when that's taken away, you feel a little bit like a lost soul, Creamer said. The last year was the hardest. I would start figuring something out, and the wrist would get inflamed and I wouldn't be able to practice. Creamer said her practice regimen will probably never be the same. It's going to be quality over quantity, Creamer said. But I miss the game, and I'm excited about playing again. Article tags Paula Creamer. Phil Mickelson has more than just an elusive U.S. Open title on his mind for 2018. He wants desperately to be on another Ryder Cup team, and he's willing to add tournaments to his schedule if that's what it takes. Mickelson already holds the U.S. record by qualifying for 11 consecutive teams, and he has made 23 straight appearances in the Ryder Cup and President's Cup combined. But this isn't about a streak. It's about having a chance, perhaps his last chance, to win a Ryder Cup in Europe. That's a big goal of mine, and if I play like I've been playing, it'll make the team, Mickelson said that. The HSBC champions in Shanghai. Whether he speaks from confidence or hope remains to be seen. Mickelson hasn't won since the 2013 British Open, and the last PGA Tour season was his first without recording a top 3 finish. He plans to start next year at the Career Builder Challenge in Southern California and play the entire West Coast from there, followed by the World Golf Championship in Mexico City. I'll play more tournaments if I have to, he said. I'm not sure if I have to add much. Paris is a big goal of mine, and it's important to get off to a good start. Mickelson has been on 5 losing teams in Ryder Cup matches held on European soil. There were 2 close calls. One was in 2002 at the Belfry, when the matches were tied at 8 going into Sunday singles. Europe won the last session, including Philip Price defeating Mickelson. The other was in Wales, when Graham McDowell won the final match for a 1-point victory. Mickelson, who turns 48 in June, doesn't see Paris next September as his last chance to win in Europe. Told that he would be 52 the next time the matches go to Europe, Mickelson said, "I'm not looking that far ahead. I'm expecting to have a good year," he said. "I'd like to get on the team and go over there and win." Park on top. Sung Hyun Park brought plenty of winning experience to her rookie LPGA season. The 24-year-old won 7 times on the Korean LPGA Tour last year, and facing the best competition in the world hasn't slowed her. Park became the 4th South Korean player to reach number 1 in the world, and the first player to get there as an LPGA rookie. There won't be any changes because of the ranking, Park said from China, where she makes her debut at number 1. "I believe my future play is more important than the fact that I moved up in the ranking." Her future play could lead to even grander feats. Park, who won the U.S. Women's Open, leads the LPGA money list at just over $2.1 million with 2 tournaments remaining. She is second behind So-Yeon Ryu for the points-based Player of the Year and already has clinched Rookie of the Year. Not since Nancy Lopez has a player won both awards in the same season. Park also is number 3 in the race to the CME Globe and is second in the Vare Trophy for the lowest scoring average. KOEPKAS list. Brooks Koepka knew he had a big year from looking at that U.S. Open trophy. A look into his closet brought even more evidence. One of Koepka's traditions at the start of every year is to go down to the beach and write a list of goals for the year on a yellow sheet of paper. He tapes it on the wall of his closet, then invariably forgets about it. "I'm usually looking down trying to find clothes and shoes," he said. A few weeks ago, he happened to look at eye level and noticed his list for the year, which had about 7 items related to golf and 5 items off the golf course. Among the ones he ticked off was winning a major U.S. Open, having at least a share of the first-round lead in a major British Open, and then one of the bigger ones, having the lowest aggregate score in the majors, 21 under par. He described them as little goals, only because of the detail, such as having the solo lead after the first round. He took care of that Thursday in the HSBC Champions. "You can make them as detailed as you want," he said. "When you go into specifics, a lot of those things come true." He didn't get them all. One goal was to not miss a cut. He missed the cut by 1 shot in his first tournament of the year at Torrey Pines. He also wanted to win multiple times, meaning he will have to either successfully defend at the Dunlop Phoenix next week in Japan or win the Hero World Challenge. The biggest change for me was off the golf course, Koepka said. The hardest thing for me was making sure I was in the gym 5 days a week when we played. Some days I've gone 7. Overall, Koepka was pleased with how many he got. He'll do it again this year, only at a different beach. Koepka will be on Maui for the Century Tournament of Champions. WHO wants to be a millionaire. The LPGA tied a record when Stacey Lewis tied for 15th in the Toto Japan Classic. Lewis became the 15th player this year to top $1 million, equaling the number from last year. And it's about to grow. Women's PGA champion Danielle Kong is $647 short of $1 million and is assured of topping the $1 million mark next week at the CME Group Tour Championship. Minjee Lee is the defending champion this week in China. Lee is $3,268 short of $1 million, and provided she doesn't withdraw from Blue Bay, she will top $1 million. Amy Yang and Miriam Lee will have to play well next week in Naples, Florida, to have a chance. Lizette Solis and Michelle we are further away from, but still in range of the $1 million mark. Both are playing in China and next week at the season finale. Divots 4 of the 5 winners of full PGA Tour events this fall were in the Tour Championship. Patrick Cantlay won in Las Vegas at 9 under 275, the highest winning score by 7 shots since it became a single-course event in 2008. This was just the 3rd time the winning score has been worse than 20 under par. Jason Day, who started the year at number 1, is now at number 12. The PGA of America has extended the contract of Chief Executive Pete Bevacqua through 2024. Woodmont Country Club in Rockville, Maryland, which has hosted U.S. Open sectional qualifying 30 of the last 31 years, has been selected to host the U.S. Women's Amateur in 2020. The PGA Tour Champions has a new title for its Tucson event, the Cologuard Classic. Cologuard, produced by Exact Sciences, is a colon cancer screening test used at home. Stat of the week: in the last 2 years, Shan Feng has 3 victories, 2 runner-up finishes and 2 third-place finishes during the LPGA's fall version of the Asian Swing. Final word: can we just keep playing here? Can we move the CME Group Tour Championship here? Can we move the US Open here? Shan Feng on playing LPGA events in Asia. Article tags Phil Mickelson, 2018 Ryder Cup. Visual evidence of President Donald Trump's golf game comes to light. LPGA players go the safe route on a photo call and Tiger Woods leads Raider Nation against the Miami Dolphins. All that and more in this week's edition of The Social. We've heard a lot about Trump's golf game since he was elected President of the United States, but we haven't seen much good or bad after he took office. That all changed in the past week, when we got not 1, but 2 glimpses of him in action. Trump tweeted a video of himself hitting a shot while playing golf with Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and world number 4 Hideki Matsuyama during his trip to Asia over the weekend. Playing golf with Prime Minister Abe and Hideki Matsuyama, 2 wonderful people. picked out Twitter.com VLULO02K, Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump. November 5, 2017. This came on the heels of NBC News cameras catching him picking up a putt while it was still rolling about a week earlier. See some of exclusive at NBC News video of at Real Donald Trump on Virginia golf course today. https://t.coostits6qov. Kelly O'Donnell at Kellyo. October 28, 2017. The reasons for that putt being picked up are debatable, but with well-struck irons and lengthy gimmies on tape, we're suddenly getting a much better picture of that 73. Senator Lindsey Graham insists he saw Trump shoot last month. Woods hasn't played a sport professionally in almost a year, but he's certainly watched his fair share in person while he's been out injured. Woods, who will be back next month at his Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas, was at it again on Sunday, taking in the Oakland Raiders game against the Miami Dolphins. The 14-time major champ enjoyed the action from box seats while wearing a Jim Plunkett jersey. Plunkett quarterbacked the Raiders to 2 Super Bowl titles during Woods' childhood. A quick side note, can we talk about this guy's jersey collection for a second? Flashing a Plunkett and Jackie Robinson in back-to-back weeks. We sure Tiger isn't moonlighting as a 90s rapper, because if he is, MC Beef may be available for a collaboration. Henrik Stenson has withdrawn from the final 2 events in the European Tour's race to Dubai, citing a rib injury that many thought he sustained during a promotional photo shoot at the WGC-HSBC Champions last month, in which he was hoisted in the air by a harness while donning a cape. "I'm not Superman, even though certain people thought I was Superman," Stenson said Sunday after finishing T35 at the Turkish Airlines Open. Although he later disputed that quote was about the photo shoot, the ladies at the Blue Bay LPGA in China seemed to heed his warning anyway. Michelle Wie, Jessica Korda and Sandra Gal participated in an interesting photo shoot of their own this week but opted not to fly too close to the sun on the wings of pastrami. Photo call time pic.twitter.com. Choose Joe, Jessica Korda at the Jessica Korda, November 7, 2017. Take it from Henny Stenny, kids. No matter where life takes you, always stay grounded. Birthday presents are weird. Sometimes you get that fancy toy you've not so secretly wanted or a shiny new piece of jewelry you've been dropping hints about for months. Other years you get something a little more practical, like a vacuum cleaner or, in Angie Watson's case, surgery. Bubba Watson showed off the present he got for his wife on social media Monday, and it looked a little unpleasant. Bubba posted an x-ray of his wife's knee with 4 screws in it and alluded to the fact that it was a basketball-related injury. Angie played basketball at the University of Georgia where she met her husband. The Watsons. Just the latest example that love isn't dead, but sometimes it's very painful. We've all been there. Even those of us with a gold jacket to their name have wanted to launch their club into outer space when things don't go your way. Well, Australian pro Terry Pilkadaris gave in to temptation during a first round 73 at the Asian Tour's Panasonic Open India, throwing his putter into the woods after missing a putt on the 17th hole. Hard to think of a more satisfying feeling in golf, at least until the inevitable walk of shame. Club throwing advice with Ron. Think we have a new segment on our hands. Article tags The Social, Grill Room, Tiger Woods, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, Andrew Beef Johnston, Bubba Watson, Angie Watson, Henrik Stenson, Michelle Wie, Jessica Korda.